25. Okay, or what else is continuous? Sometimes cooking ranges or dryers, so they are considered continuous loads also, no? So try to do some research, no? So on what categories are those appliances, if they are continuous or non-continuous, because this is also important. So what factor you're going to use. Okay? So if you list down your appliances that you're using for your design, okay? So also try to categorize them if they are continuous, non-continuous, or if they are a special type of motor like this one. Okay, so they will have a different factor. Okay? Okay, I might ask you about that also. Okay, next one you have conductor sizing. So the first part that is for the OCPD references. So this one is for the conductor sizing. So of course, the conductors that you're going to use is from your appliances going into your uh, panel board, no? So on your circuit breakers. So for the factor that you're going to use for your single motor, largest motor, continuous, non-motor load, and such. So these are the factors that you're going to use on them. So again, so the factor will be multiplied. Okay, so this will be multiplied to the full load current that you have computed. Okay, so this is for underground conductor factor, and then for the branch conductor. Okay, so for branch conductor, so what you're going to use is this one. Okay, so this is one of the tables that you're going to use. So you have the circuit rating, and then these are your uh, currents, no, that you're going to compute, or these are the currents that you're going to reference with your computation. So for example, you computed for about 10 amperes of current. So the closest one here or the next higher is 15 amperes. So it means you will look for the sizing listed here. Okay? So the sizing listed here is this part is in the millimeter squared, and then the one in the parentheses, no, in the grouping symbol is your diameter. So if you have a 2.0 mm squared uh, conductor size, it means its diameter is 1.6 millimeters. Okay? So for example, for 20 amperes, so 3.5 millimeter squared and 2.0 millimeter diameter. Okay? So that is for the sizing. So numbers in the middle is your conductor size in millimeter squared and their diameter. Okay? So this is for the circuit wires, and then this is for the taps. So that is for your circuit conductor rating. While for your overcurrent protection, okay, so again, you have the ampere ratings here. And then below them is your types of connection, no, for your outlets. And then the type of circuit breaker rating that you're going to use. So for example, for lamp holders, no, permitted lamp holders. So any type of circuit breaker will do. No, but for 30 amperes and above, so you need heavy duty of electric discharge luminaires. So for lighting, no, of your receptacle rating, so you will use for 15 amperes, so 15 amperes maximum. And then for 20 amperes, you can actually even use 15 or 20. Okay, so because you're using it for the overcurrent protection anyway. No, and this is only for lighting. No, this is unlike your motor load, in which you have your starting current. Remember earlier, no, if your motor has starting current, you should use the factor. But for the lighting circuits, no, you can use, so up to 20 amperes, you can use 15 or 20. Okay, but for 30 amperes, no, 40, 50, so you can follow what is the rating based on the computed. Okay, so the maximum load here should be also tally with your rating that you will use. So next one, we have conductor, underground conductor sizing. So for underground conductor sizing, no, or usually this is your conductors, no, not necessarily underground, but this is the ones embedded on your walls, diba? On your ano for construction, no, yung circuits are based if this is based on your design, no, the circuits are usually embedded on the walls. So this is the wire sizing that you're going to use as reference for your conductors, for your circuit conductors. So table 3.10 point 2.6 B16. Okay? So this is actually the most used part. I think my share screen went out, right? Okay, okay. Let me fix it. So I will reshare again. I think I need to close this. Ayan. So are you seeing my screen again? Ayan. So can you see my screen again? Is it okay on your end? Is it already shared? Okay. So going back here, on this table, so this is the most used table in Philippine Electrical Code, actually. So this one, no, because it contains a lot of possible options and for your conductor types. Okay, so how do you use this? So I think I already showed this to you how it's used last time. No, so let me just repeat quickly. So when you select your conductors, now after you computed your current, diba, or your current rating, so to select your conductors here, so first one, you need to determine the type of conductor that you're going to use. Okay? So you need to determine the type of conductor that you're going to use. If it is for your main entrance, usually it's your TW. Okay? So either it's almost the same. No. If it's for your service entrance conductors, usually you will use copper. Copper conductors for your service entrance conductors. Okay? So if if you have seen those electrical utility companies, yung Batelec, Meralco, doing yung installation of electric meters, okay, so they usually tap those conductors that are copper conductors for the service entrance. Okay, so usually you will use copper conductor for the service entrance. Okay, so your options usually include uh, the best possible option for your service entrance conductor should be the one that's having the W or water resist. Okay, so of course it should be water resistant because it is exposed outside. No, so TW, THHW, THWN. Okay, so THW, no, those types of copper conductors. Okay, but for your inside conductors, your circuit conductors, you can use aluminum. No, because this is cheaper. Okay, so aluminum conductors. But sometimes now for your houses, of course, I think sometimes copper is more durable than aluminum, no, for your conductors. So you can also decide to use for your internal conductors, no, the one embedded on the balls as copper conductors. No, if you have the budget for it, okay, why not? Okay, but usually we go for the aluminum conductors. or sometimes a combination of copper clad aluminum. So you have aluminum, and then this is it's like enclosed with copper. So it's like an alloy already. Okay. So next, after you have decided which type of conductor are you going to use or what material you're going to use as for conductor, so you need to select then uh, on the numbers you see in the middle. Okay. So you look at the numbers in the middle first. You will look, let's say for example you chose TW. Let's look at the first column. So you're choosing TW type of your copper conductor. And then you computed for example 22 amperes. And let's say for example this is your full load current. Okay? 22 amperes. So for your 22 ampere load or circuit, so what you need to use or what you need to find is the number here in the middle that is next higher. Okay, not closest ha, but next higher. So if you have 22 ampere, no, current rating, so you need to select 30. Okay? So you need to select the 30 amperes. Okay? So why next higher? No, why not the closer one? Because 20 amperes is closer to 22, right? So again, let's do scenario. If you use 20, okay? If you use 20 amperes, size of conductor for a 22 ampere full load circuit, so what will happen? Of course, it's not always going to run 22 amperes. Sometimes it will just run 15, 10, no? It's not usually full load. But in the event that you use your rating, no, in full blast mode, or let's say all appliances on that rating are running, or on that circuit is running. So of course, it will reach 22 amperes of normal. Take note that this is the normal operating current for that circuit. And if your conductor has an ampacity, so the numbers here you see are, okay, so all of the numbers here are what you call ampacity. Ampacity. Or the current carrying capacity of your conductor. So all of these are ampacity. Okay? So if your ampacity of the current that you chose is only 20 amperes, but the normal operating full load, full normal operation of your circuit is 22. So what do you think will happen to your conductor? I think I asked you this last time. So if you remember, so what will happen to your conductor if it can only carry 20 amperes but it is going to be used for 22 amperes full load? What will happen? Sige nga, if you remembered last time, you can type in. Yes, Aldrin.
Sir, yun po ba yung ano, yung para pong unti-unti pong mag-iinit yung conductor po?
Okay. So, what will happen is your conductor will heat up. Okay, and it will heat up very fast until to the point that it will already ignite. No, so the term there is ignite. So your conductor will start to ignite or yung magniningas. And what will happen next after that? So from the inside it will ignite, and then the next thing that will happen is even the insulator naka-cover na parang rubber insulation niya. Ito yung type of the insulation used sa kanya. It will also start to melt. Okay, so hindi naman agad sunog, no? It will not actually burn eventually or cause a fire. But what will happen first is your conductor will ignite to the point that it will burn off the insulator. So what happens next there is it will get exposed. Okay? So that's actually the start of the faulty electrical wiring causing the fire and such. So first it will ignite inside, and then it will melt the insulator, and then once it is exposed, remember for let's say single phase circuits, diba? Single phase. How many conductors do we have? No, minimum number of conductors for single phase do we have? Kasi nga, if you understand also the lecture last time, single phase circuits, the minimum number of conductors that we have for single phase circuits. So if you remembered what we discussed last time, so what is the minimum number of conductors for single phase circuits for your design? So you can also type in the chat box. Okay, so two daw. Yeah. So anyone else have ano? Or do you all believe Aldrin that it is two? Okay? So the answer is 2. No? So that's the minimum number for your single phase circuit because you will need line 1 and line 2. Okay? So that you have what we call it in Tagalog, no, yung papunta tsaka pabalik. Okay? So because it needs to circulate, right? Your circuit needs to circulate, no? For example, we did this on the DC circuits before or on the examples. So, di ba, if you have your supply, this is your load, no? Okay? So you have two conductors here, right? The one connecting the supply to the load, this one. So that's your first conductor. And from the load back to the supply, this is your second conductor. Okay, so that's why in single phase circuits usually we have a minimum of two conductors. So two conductors. Now, what will happen on those two conductors if they both ignite and they are both exposed? So the next thing that will happen is what you call short circuit, right? Because they will for sure what you call that, touch each other. And once they touch each other, let's say this part, no, and this part, they touch each other. So what will happen is they will form a short circuit here. Okay, and when you have a short circuit here, the first thing that will happen is your load